Kirsten Hosick,
and we're your hosts of Lancer Live. We have a few announcements to get started. The call-out meeting for the Castle Speech Team will be held after school on Thursday, September 1st in room 121. See Ms. Mitchell with any questions.
School Picture Day is scheduled for Friday, September 2nd in the small gym. And don't forget Special Cup on Fridays. You can go down to the cafeteria before the first bell rings or have it delivered to your first and second period.
The featured flavors this month are Irish cream, caramel, and hazelnut, so don't miss out.
On Friday, August 26th, the student body celebrated game day during lunch periods by chanting the school song led by our senior football players and drumline. The next story goes out to our upcoming fall musical, Into the Woods.
Auditions will be held on August 29th and 30th, and the show will be on October 21st and the 22nd.
Reporter Emma Green got the chance to talk to Mr. Ante about the upcoming production. Take it away, Emma.
Hi, I'm Emma Green, and this is Mr. Ante, and we are doing an interview on the musical. So, why did you choose to do this musical?
We're doing Into the Woods this year, which is a musical about a bunch of different Grimm's Brothers fairy tales, like Little Red Riding Hood, Jack and the Beanstalk, Cinderella. This was the first musical I was ever in when I was in high school, and so it has a lot of significance to me. And Stephen Sondheim, who wrote the musical, passed away last year, and I just thought it would be something good to be able to do at this time right now, and he was my favorite composer, and this is one of my favorite shows, and so I think the students will enjoy it.
Good. Okay, so you acted in this musical during your high school career.
Yep.
How does it feel to be directing the same musical now?
Well, you know, it's one of my favorite shows, so I'm looking forward to doing that. And then we're gonna set it in a library. We're doing this kind of spin on the fact that like fairy tales come from books and books are in libraries, and then we're going to have the woods kind of like growing into the library. So we're kind of putting a nice creative spin on it, so I'm excited about that. And, you know, again, there's a bunch of really good roles in the show, so I'm looking forward to being able to allow students to be able to do some of those parts.
So you've obviously been thinking of sets. Do you have anything in mind for like specific costumes, anything like that?
The costumes, since we've done the show in the past, and we have decades worth of costumes in our costume loft, most of the ones we'll have already. There will be a couple that we'll need to make or rent, but we'll have a lot of those. That kind of was another reason to do the show, because we know we'll have some of the materials already available. Mm-hmm. But then with this show, there's always a bunch of different effects things that you kind of have to pay attention to, like there's a golden harp and a cow, and so some of those things will be interesting to be able to come up with creative ways to present that stuff.
Okay. What scenes or characters in the show are most significant?
Well, when I was a sophomore in high school, I would have said any scene that I was in, you know, as Jack from Jack and the Beanstalk. Right. But ultimately, the show it's set in 2 acts. In the first act, it ends with the narrator saying to be happily, and they live happily ever after, and then he says to be continued. And then in the second act, it kind of, things aren't always so happy, and it kind of shows the reality of the fact that not everything is a fairy tale, not everything goes as smoothly as you might plan, and so the second act is kind of that showing the reality of the way things work out.
Okay. This musical is unique in that it has a smaller cast and less choreography. So what areas of musical theater does this musical showcase most?
There is still choreography, and there's a lot of stage movement. It's just the last several years we've done some very heavy dance shows for our musicals. This one is more focused on the music and the storyline. Not that there wasn't storyline in Annie and things like that, but it's just more focused on the actual characters and the story moving across. And there are more characters than in a lot of the musicals, so it has to take more time to get those stories across.
Okay. And last question, listen up everyone. What advice do you have to anyone auditioning for the musical?
My advice always to anyone auditioning is to prepare your best and to trust yourself and to do the best job that you can. You can't predict what the outcome will be. The only thing you can control is how you prepare. So choose the song that you think is best for you. Choose the monologue that you think is best for you, and prepare those and do them to the best of your ability. And, you know, again, choosing the best thing is probably the most important advice, because a lot of times students will think to themselves when they see a show come out, oh, I want to be that part. And it might not be the one that's suited for you the most, or might not fit your vocal range. So always, you know, prepare for the one that you think best suits you.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Anderson.
Thank you.